And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It is Tuesday. It's been a day of weird, just all sorts of weirdness and weirdness. Trust me, weirdness happens here. I hope you are having a day full of whatever flavor of weirdness is good for you. Because sometimes weirdness tastes like chocolate, and that's okay. Let's go ahead and get into Minecraft because that's where the fun is going to happen. And in all honesty, I like fun. So let's do this. I'm feeling like really off center today. I don't know what's going on. It's weird. I may have to adjust things. But not now. Now we are Minecrafting. All right, so we're back here at my base, and it's great. I like my base. But it's time to do. Hi. It's time to do something up here. Okay. I don't know why you're up here, but yeah, he's got stuff and things. Wonderful. I need none of his stuff and things. All right. Today, we're going to be putting a dome on this build, and it's going to be a thing. I can tell you that much. A thing is indeed what it's going to be. So let me pop up here. Let's see if I do shapes and turn this one on. Okay, so basically what's going to happen, and we'll free cam out for a minute, is I'm going to build a quarter of this, or maybe just this side of it, up to about the center. I'm going to build another one on that side, and I'm just going to run it straight across. Okay, so it's going to be fairly cool. Except I'm going to be putting the blocks on the outside of the sphere, not on the inside. Okay, so it's going to be cool. It's going to be blue, and it's going to be cool in blue. But first, what I need to do, let's layer, single layer. We're going to start here. All right. Awesome. So let's place some blocks. Now, this side is going to be easy because it's just going to go right on top of all of this. All right. Oh, yeah, it's the top of the next side. You may recall, I did this with the around the shulker farm. Right, just got this nice little space going here. All right. And then, right, this goes like this. All right, now what I need to do is let's take a look here. This goes to the center of this, which is like 55 or 5,007, which is, I think, 7. Yes. So let's go around to the other side and get that in place. And yeah. That way we can have this all back where it's going to go. 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops. Well, it's one more, but that's okay. It's going to go that way. All right. So let's pop up the next layer. Okay. 2008's that. Wah! And I do mean that in its archaic sense. Need to come up the other side, I suppose. All right. So we are coming into... Right, so this is the outside of this mess. All right, so hopefully this will go okay. So anyway, we're doming, and it's gonna be great, and stuff and things. I think that goes here. Yeah. Yeah. No. So weirdness. So I'm sitting there at work doing work and stuff, and about an hour or so before it's time for me to head home, my wife texts me and says, I need to replace my phone now. Which is weird because my wife hates technology and has not wanted to upgrade her phone. Okay, which is fine. So we talked to her. It turns out if she wanted to actually work tonight, she's going to have to upgrade because it turns out the app she uses required a certain level on her OS, which her very old iPhone did not support. So, yeah. And unfortunately, because my wife, as wonderful as she is she's not a tech person, it turns out. I think that goes there. And needed help going shopping for the phone. And so we had to go rush off to Walmart and do that. It was an adventure. Not the adventure I was hoping to have today, but an adventure nonetheless. And we managed to get her cut over. She's now on an Android phone, which she's very happy about. And, yeah. Okay. Now, I don't remember how tall this is going to be. A couple of blocks. I'm out. This way. Now, we might have to stop here at some point and buy some more blue dye. I think I have enough glass. What I don't have enough of is blue glass. So that's going to be something we're going to have to deal with. All right. Now, fortunately, I have clerics. Lapis is cheap. But all of the other good stuff, yeah, we'll have to do a bunch of trading to make all of that happen. But anyway, and it was hilarious too. It's like, okay, we would like to buy this phone. It's like, yep, this phone is out of stock. It's like, well, great. She needs the phone tonight. We don't have a lot of choice here, so I guess we're doing this other phone, which is fine. It's an okay phone. And then we go to buy a case. The case that the sales guy says, yep, this is the case for your phone. Turns out it was not the case for the phone. It was a case for a similar phone, but not actually the one we were using. So that was annoying. So yeah, so like I said, it's been a weird day. And I hope this is right. This is seeming right. Right? I think this is... Well, as long as it's close and the same on both sides, I think we'll be fine. All right. You know, it is kind of dark at night, turns out. Whew. That is correct, right? Yes. Okay, that goes there, and then this goes here. All right. Next layer. Let's see. Anything else fun and exciting going on? Probably. It's Veterans Day, so that's cool. Yep, because veterans are awesome. And sadly, oops, is that right? I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. You know, I mean, I had to work today, but that's fairly normal. right up until it's like, oh yeah, it's time to deal with whatever's going on with my wife's phone. So fortunately, I was able to leave early because I have that flexibility in my schedule. But yeah, it was a day. Okay. This is going to take, by the way, roughly forever. Oops, that's not what I'm looking for. No. You know, I'd like to actually hit the right button today, please. Thank you. All right, so this goes like so. All right. Oh, speaking of things that are happening, the my latest podcast dropped today for those of you who are members at musicfreegaming.com. So, you know, that's cool and stuff. So, be sure to check that out. Yeah, that really is the best way to support the channel. But obviously, there are other ways. So if you want to hey Chair, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good day. Other options. Like, so if you want to, you know, you can sub on Twitch or become a channel member on YouTube or any of those things. It's all good. Or, you know, just tell your friends and get all your friends watching. That's cool too. Of course, that would involve having friends, which is a problem that some of us have, but you know, friends are a problem. No, that's not true. Okay, well. All right, well, I have heard that the sun will come out tomorrow, and here it is tomorrow. Anyway, let's see. What mod is that? Oh, this is a feature of Mini HUD. I like Mini HUD. It's the same tool that shows light levels, right? Yeah, it does the same thing here. Is it will you can use it to draw some shapes and things, which is really helpful for things like despawn spheres and other things like that. But in this case, it can also draw. That's not what goes there. Draw circles and stuff. Okay. Caught it. Oh, given all the trouble I had catching things when I was working on the Wither Skeleton farm, happy to actually be able to catch something here. All right. Yeah. Maybe I should use a different color for the outline, but I think we're okay. All right. So the circle, or this sphere, is 21 blocks. It goes up a little ways. But he's okay. At least I'm close. Like I said, I think I've got enough glass. I mean, I didn't actually count it out because that would involve planning, and you know how I get do with planning. But I think we're okay. I've got another shulker full of glass. I just have to dye it. So we'll find out. Hopefully it's enough. Okay. Yeah, this isn't quite as nice as having built it up in Lightmatica or something like that, but it works out pretty well. Mini HUD was actually written by the same person who wrote Lightmatica, which is handy. Okay. Oops, now that's too far, but that's all right. It's going to go over that way anyway, so we should be fine. Okay, is that right? Yes. All right. Yeah, sorry, this part's a little tedious, but it's a lot better than having to sit and try to count it out. And am I in the right place? And all of that nonsense. I've done that. That sucks. All right, so that goes there and there. All right, let's see. What else is going on? Not a whole lot. There's a new podcast out I'm excited to listen to. I've not gotten to it yet, but it's the podcast is We Were Spacemen, and it's Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk of from Firefly, and I am really excited to listen to that. But that's gonna have to wait because I've got a couple of other things in the queue before I can get to that. But it's cool. I like both of those guys. They seem to be interesting people sometimes. So yeah. Hey, boy, if you know, it feels like my fingers are just on the wrong keys all the time today. I don't know if you've had this problem, but I definitely have this problem. Just everything feels wrong. Okay. Driving home from your second. Entertain you? Entertain? Can I entertain? I cannot entertain. I do not know where tain is. And, I don't know if I am the appropriate size to entertain, even if I knew. Maybe I am too big. Maybe I am too small. We are having deep philosophical discussion. Anyway. Yeah, so we were just talking about the fact that the We Were Once We Were Spacemen podcast is now up. And said I have not listened to it yet, but I am excited to get on that. Because I can imagine Fillion and Tudyk together being slightly unhinged. Or more than slightly unhinged. You know, I probably should have looked to be sure that this blue was actually what I wanted. I've placed enough blocks now that taking it down is going to suck if it's not what I want. Okay. No, I think that's good. I think that'll be fine. So, all right, cool. And I'm not just saying that because I'm lazy and stuff. I actually think it's going to be fine. I mean, I am lazy and stuff, but that is absolutely not the reason I'm going to continue with this. Now, I was looking at this and I was thinking maybe I want to use white glass, or I didn't really want to use clear, but I did want a little bit of something. And then I decided that, you know what would be really cool? Would be blue. Blue would be cool. You listen to it and you won't say anything about it. Okay. Cool. Cool. It said, I am looking forward, because if I were looking back, I would not be able to see the screen. That is the way it goes. Okay. But yeah, no, I listen to a bunch of podcasts when I walk to and from work. You know, there are some. It's like okay, it's the Phase Hero podcast. That's movie news, right? Talks about Marvel and DC and all of those types of things, right? Cool. And the Follow Him podcast, which is it's like a 2-hour podcast about whatever the scripture lesson is for the week at church. That's really cool. Yeah, and then there are some what's the other one I listened to? I listened to a few. The Honestly podcast, which is from the Free Press, which is said all sorts of fun. And so yeah, and there are a couple that are a little bit more political because I do like that type of stuff, even though I don't want to get into it on stream and things like that. But some of those are interesting, and what's another one? Oh, there's what's it, Creator Upload or something like that. That's here's sort of news, what's going on in the creator space. Right? Of course, it doesn't help right now that because of time zones, Pearlescent Moon's streams start at like 5 in the morning and are going while I'm walking to work. So and then Tango Tech streams as I'm walking back from lunch. It's like, this is eating into my podcast time, but I must listen to, streams and stuff. You know how it goes. All right. Let's go there. The good news is we get to do this twice. Woohoo! Aren't we excited? What about Spotify? What about it? I mean, I don't listen on Spotify because I'm not going to pay them money to listen to podcasts. Or anything else for that matter, because I am broke. But aside from that, why am I feel like I've missed a slot here. Hang on. I need to go down. Yeah, there's... I think I need one there. Okay. All right. There we go. But, there are good podcasts on Spotify. Turns out, Music Free Gaming Podcast, or Music Free Static Podcast is on Spotify. So if you want to listen to me ramble on about something. Yep. It's exciting. Like I said, you get it a little early if you are a Music Free Gaming subscriber. Right? If you're a supporter over on musicfreegaming.com. But yeah, there's all that good stuff over there. And of course, I'm of a generation where, I listen to music locally, so I ripped all my CDs and stuff to MP3 and can... Wow, that feels like it's really, really wrong. How did I not get hurt there? I mean, I'm glad I didn't, but it really feels like I maybe should have been in, blind staggering pain or something like that. Whoa. All right, so what is happening here? Let's go down one. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. Blocks go here. Awesome. All right, and up we go. All right, so basically if that cuts in there, we just drop a block in the hole. Okay, I can do that. Holy block. Block. Act. No. No, no, no. Now, I'm fairly certain those are not the words to Oh Holy Block, but, you know, you make do with what you got. And what I got is not the right lyrics. It's all good. What color do I do on the other side? It's the same. It's going to be the same color on both sides. Because what I'm going to do once I get both spheres in place is I'm going to connect them. So, but what I'll end up having is a sort of a lozenge shape thing. Okay, come on, I can do it. I can place the blocks in weird places because I have mods for that. Yeah, this would be slightly more painful to do without Tweakaroo. All right, and up we go. All right. Okay, so that goes there. Does that go there? That does not go there. Haha. Let's hear it for, you know, double checking and stuff. It's double checking what happens when you and your significant other each have a separate checking account. Probably. All right. And this goes there. Sweet. All right. Yeah, sorry. This is not the most exciting content on the planet. But that's okay. That is just fine. So, just get this in place. Yeah, so the plan, as I was saying before, is I've got this sphere on this side. I'm going to put one up there, and then we're just going to run the blocks all the way across between them. So, yeah, it's going to be a... Wow. Okay. Sure. All right. Well, that apparently goes like that. Okay. That doesn't need to go there. All right. We'll get all these blocks in, I think. That's the thing. You know, the joy of having a stutter is every once in a while it's really silly. Okay. All right, so we've got this going. Little bit of glass here. This is why I like having librarians. Yes, the books are good. Ah, cheese monkeys. I'm a big fan of books. Okay, I should probably, you know, sleep and stuff, but yeah. Boy, I had that the other day. I woke up, it might have been yesterday. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep because, you know, anxiety is fun. So, okay, so that's going to go there. Because who doesn't love anxiety? Me. I don't love anxiety. Not my favorite thing in the world. So, anyway, I woke up in the middle of the night. with a sort of that panicked feeling like, okay, I have got to check this right now because, you know, it's a thing. So I had to log into an account, be sure everything still existed. You know how that goes. It's annoying. I have one financial account that I don't have a web login for. I have to log into it by phone because for some reason their system is stupid. But, you know, I don't have a choice. I can't use anything else. So, because, all right. So, yeah, so that's going to come up on top of that. All right. Yeah. Because, no, part of my inheritance. Wow. Yeah, that is really out there. Okay. Yeah, part of my inheritance was a small amount of stock, which is fine. That's not where that goes. Anyway, so the catch is because it's like, you know, actual stock and not like something fractional or something weird that you would get through something cool like E-Trade or something. No, I have to log into this stupid thing that they it's crazy. Anyway, it sucks. But if you don't log into it and stuff for like a certain amount of time, they just kind of assume that you've abandoned your stock, and it's like, nope, this is dumb. So anyway, everything was fine. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, I had to check. All right. All right, we're getting close here. Ah. I find that disturbing. Okay. How about all the things? Oh. Oh, I see what's happening now. All right, I have to come out like this, I guess. The atmosphere. Okay. So yeah, so somewhere here. Actually, I think these blocks might need to be on the outside of this, not the inside. Because, yeah, this is silly. Again, this would have been a lot easier if I had built this all automatically with Lightmatica or something. Right, taking it into creative, mapped it all out in Lightmatica, built it. But no, did I do that? Not even a little bit. Okay, no, so that's right. And then this is right. And then this is okay. And then this is not. That's now broken forever. Okay, so this is going to come like this. Oh, except no, I do need to be on the outside of it. Cool. Is that right? I don't know. I've been going around the outside. It's just where things get funky here. Okay. Well, this much I do know. All right, so hang on. Let's set here, and then we go down one. Nice. All right, so I do know this comes across like that. All right. So it wouldn't be up here. I guess this just goes straight across. That would make sense, I guess. Or maybe it. No, no, it should go up above it. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Things are probably a little bit funky, but that's okay. I'll worry about the top of that when we do the other side and then bring things over. Because I am just going to ignore my problems because that's just the way we're going to do things here. We could be responsible and, you know, deal with our problems when they show up. But no, we're not going to do that because that's just weird. So no, we're going to just pretend like our problems don't exist and continue on because that just seems like fun. Right? Right. Okay. So this comes across like that. All right, so come across this way and okay, what is my 4933 is my center here. So 2, 3. So that's where we're gonna go. Yeah, this first round is easy because it's right on top of all of this deep slate. And deep slate is, well, you know, very deep and philosophical or something. You know, if you want interesting philosophical discussions, deep slate is probably the way to go. Okay, because you know it's deep. Yeah, that's logic. Okay, that's the theory. All right, yeah, I am probably going to need more blue dye. Okay. Oops, that's not what I'm looking for. This one. All right, so hopefully I'm inconsistent in the same way on both sides. That's the hope and dream. Because at least if I'm inconsistent in the same way, it will look the same and then it will be consistent. But I don't know. If I were, when I built the snow globe and did this type of thing with the snow globe, I had the light on the outside of this, right? Which was a little bit easier to work with. But because of the way I have the shapes set up, things weren't lining up when I tried that. So it's like, okay, we'll just pop this around like this, and everything should be fine. Okay. So that goes like so. Oh well, if it doesn't work, or if it's not consistent or something, we'll just go with it. Okay, again, it's that selectively lazy thing that... Now, is anybody going to notice? Probably somebody on the internet will look at this and say, hey, that doesn't match. And then I'll throw myself off my build because, you know, that's just the appropriate response to those comments. And, yeah, here we are. Okay, moving on. Let's see. trying to think if there's anything else fun and exciting to spend brain cells on. And you know, I'm pretty well brain celled out today. Today was one of those days for me at work too, where it was like I had 12 emails in my inbox that I actually had to do something with, which was weird. More often than not, I have 12 email in my inbox that I can just delete because it's spam or salespeople or something. No, it's like all the stuff I've been working on for the last week or so, everyone who I was waiting for a response from responded at the same time. I'm pretty certain they coordinated. Even those people who were not at the company I work for. Yeah, they also decided that this was a good day to respond to all of my queries and stuff. Yep. So that was an adventure. Just with, you know, fewer dragons. Which is sad. Dragons really should be part of any adventure. Preferably, you know, hanging out with you. Right? We're the befriend the dragons type of adventurers. We're not the slay the dragon types of adventurers most of the time. Except, you know, in Minecraft where the dragon doesn't really give you a choice. Turns out she's just a jerk. Actually, I'm sure she's a very fine, loving person who terrorizes Enderman for, I'm sure, what are very altruistic reasons. But, you know, I feel the need to inflict my views upon the dragon with a sword and a bow. Not particularly well, because if you've seen my aim, you know it's just a lot of missing. But still, I'm fairly certain there's some moral high grounds there. Right up until the dragon flies up and knocks you off of it, because she's got big wings and stuff. But, you know, gotta do something, right? Okay, so anyway, sorry, I'm a little weird today. Okay, I know it's maybe not that unusual from a lot of other days, but we had a lot of chaos between stuff with work and my wife's emergency tech problems. Yeah, I am just in a. Okay, I had to hurry a lot today, and now I'm done hurrying, and now my mind doesn't know how to cope. So, you know, at least dinner was easy. We had some Hawaiian haystacks. That was good. Rather than ham, which we typically do, we had some leftover beef sausage. Like a summer sausage kielbasa type thing, not a like, hey, throw this in your omelet type sausage. And that was tasty. It was a different change in flavor, and that was good. Of course, I always like pineapple, so yeah. All right, so that's going there and there and there and also there and maybe there and there. Okay. So, let's see. Is anything else fun? You know, it's one thing. It's been kind of amusing, just in a from a weird content creator sort of perspective, it's been amusing listening to Gemini Tay bully Grian into streaming. And he has been, like, of his own accord and everything. And it's just weird. And it's also kind of fun just to and he I feel in some ways I feel for the guy because streaming and stuff is just weird to begin with. But in some ways he's not starting from zero. He's starting from like 5,000. And learning to cope with chat when you've not had a chance to learn how to cope with chat is strange. All right, so this goes here. All right, we're getting there. This is slow, but we're getting there. All right, next layer up. Good news is, this is only, the circle is really only like 21 blocks in diameter, I think it is. So it's not overly large. It's just bigger than. It's big enough that this takes a while, I guess is maybe the way to put it. Oh, but I am not looking forward to heading back into the nether to go hunt up more netherite. I'll tell you, next time I go in to try to figure out what's going on with a skeleton farm, I am leaving my good armor at home. I'm going to go in there with just a spare set of diamond armor, and I am not going to lose more netherite armor, especially netherite armor that has swift sneak, because that's a pain in the neck to get. I mean, yes, I have awesome people who are helping me out and got me more swift sneak books, but still, that's just a pain. On the plus side, there is an ancient city just like kind of maybe over somewhere under me here. And I may go raid that ancient city at some point. Not today, but at some point. We'll see if the Shrieker silencer still works. Hopefully it does, because that'll make dealing with the city a lot easier. Yep, that's just a chunk loader with arrows constantly sitting off a Shrieker. But because the Shrieker is being set off constantly, it forces a cooldown on every other Shrieker you run into. Which means they don't go off. And that means it ends up being safe. Which I am perfectly okay with. What I might do, I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get down to that city. I've got a couple of other ancient cities. Obviously, I was basing in one at the beginning of this season, and that was great. But I set up some nether portals between that ancient city and another one that I was in. I might set one up with this city as well. I don't know if I'm going to build anything in it. Oops. No, that's fine. But I might. That could be fun. All right. Ooh, home with your Wendy's chili. Tasty. Wendy's makes good chili. I had chili today too, but it was a weird mix of chilies, and so it was a little bit of leftover homemade chili plus a can of Hormel turkey chili. Which is okay, but it's a little bit of a weird blend of flavors. Yeah. Yeah, Wendy's makes good chili. Actually, I don't know if there are any other like fast foody restaurants that do chili or baked potatoes. Yeah, anytime my dad and I would go out to Wendy's, and he loved going to Wendy's. He loved Wendy's. And no, we a lot of our national holidays that we had to, like Veterans Day and stuff, get shuffled around, and we end up taking them at different times in the year. So it's a little weird. But no, my dad was all about he would get a single, right? Just a single with just lettuce. Yeah, a single lettuce only, and then he would get I think it was a plain baked potato. And that was always his go-to order at Wendy's. Now, for me, I'm all about the spicy chicken. Wendy's makes a pretty decent spicy chicken sandwich. Yeah, I think. Yeah, no, Wendy's does baked potatoes. Yeah, at least they used to. I don't know if they still do, but I think they do. I'll tell you though, the worst salad, right? I don't know if you've ever gotten a fast food salad before from any place. The worst salad I ever got was from Wendy's. They had it looked really good on the menu. It was like a Santa Fe salad, something weird like that. And what it is, it's like a garden salad. It's like, here's a bag of lettuce, and here's a cup of chili you're supposed to pour on top of the salad. And it was just sad and pathetic. Yeah, the apple pecan. Okay. That could be interesting. I did. McDonald's used to have one that was they had a sesame ginger salad or something like that. The salad itself wasn't bad, but it used, what was it, Newman's Own sesame ginger salad dressing, which turns out, aside from being a fairly decent salad dressing, is also a really good dressing to use to season like stir fry and stuff like that. But I don't think they have that one anymore. McDonald's and salads are a little weird, but nope. I was feeling like a salad, so I ordered that that weird salad from Wendy's. Which was supremely disappointing. And some spicy nugs, I think. And the spicy nugs are pretty good too. But I'm also mildly excited because, and this is what I'm 48 years old. These little things excite me. So I food prep because I don't have a lot of time when I come home from work to cook something to eat. Oh, And I am out. Cool. Spicy nugs sounded kind of weird. Oh no, they're really tasty. Oh, no, I need to come get some more lapis, but they it's the right place. I think it's the right place. I am lost in my own. This is the wrong place. I'm lost in my own ship. Anyway, so one of the things I ended up doing, it was a couple of weeks ago, actually. Oh, heck, I've got emeralds. We're good to go. Is I cooked up, I just grilled up some chicken. Just pan, seared or whatever. And, threw on some tasty lemon pepper seasoning. Now, the catch is I wanted to freeze this so I could just pull out a couple of strips of chicken when I wanted it. But the last time I did that, I ended up with frozen Blocko chicken. Okay? Now, I don't know about you, but chiseling chicken out of a block so that I could have some for a wrap was not my idea of fun. Well, it turns out the internet is a wonderful place full of deep wisdom. And I found out how to freeze it in a way that it doesn't all clump up. And basically, what you end up doing is you cook it all up, which is great. And then you spread it out on parchment paper and freeze it with everything like not touching. And then just let that freeze for about an hour. And then when you're after an hour, then you can put it all in whatever bag or whatever you want to put it into to get, freezer stuff to store the chicken in. That's a way to put that makes actual sense. And that was great. I had some the other day. It was delicious in a wrap. So I had this lovely lemon pepper chicken wrap with with some pickles and other tastiness. So, I'm learning, and learning is fun and stuff. So, okay. I think we're going to end up with a little leftover dye here, but that's okay. All right. Hopefully this is enough. It may not be, but it'll be good. But no, they're spicy nuggets. It's very much the same sort of spicy chicken that you would get like with their spicy chicken wrappers or burger sandwich thing. And yeah. So it's good. It's nice. I like spicy. I have to. I like many things when they are spicy, and yep, that was definitely one of them. All right, you would splat at my base? Oh, that's possible. My base is very splatable, because that's a word. Yep. Oh, trying to go down without using the water vaders. Yeah. Yep, that'll do it. What's fun is I actually like the big ones that I've got going down. Only one of them actually has a downside. Most of them are two upside elevators. There's no downside. Which in and of itself is a little bit of a downside, but it's okay. Now, it does make getting down off the base without wings a little bit of a challenge. And I haven't figured out if there's anything I want to do about that, but all right. that goes there. This is progress. At least that's what we're going to tell ourselves. All right, so yeah, this is all going to go kind of like so. Kind of like so. You had your wings on. Oh, just being bad at Minecraft. That's fair. I've definitely had more than my share of bad at Minecraft moments. All right. That's not where that goes. It goes not there. All right. Hey, progress. I don't have my new sneaky pants on. I have my old sneaky pants on. Because I did have 2 pairs of sneaky pants. But thank you for the books. You couldn't combine the books because of your low levels. That's fine. Yeah, there. Yep, I need to go make a new set of a new pair of pants and get those all enchanted up. I have a new axe, but I don't have any netherite, so it's just all blue and stuff, which is, the above splat. Yeah, that makes sense. The good news is getting levels isn't too bad in Minecraft. I usually get levels by trading with villagers, which is why I have 75 levels right now, despite all of the wither skeleton deaths. But we also do have an Enderman farm, so that helps too. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is going to bounce up. Yeah, it's had a couple blocks, I think. Yep, just like that. All right, let's get all of this around, and then we get to fill it in. All right. I don't know the last time I slept in a bed. I think it was just before stream, so I think we're okay for the nightly death chickens, but at least for tonight. I should probably take a moment and go sleep away the death chickens. Because honestly, death chickens are not the most friendly of mobs. Speaking of chickens, I should see if I've got eggs in my farm. Yeah, because I've got enough wither skulls. I can do another beacon. So I just need to be sure I've got enough eggs to do the thing. Okay, that's not where that goes. Cool. Is that right? Nope. I need to go out one more. Cool. Spheres are fun. Gotta love living on a sphere. Yeah, I don't know why I decided I need to do circles in Minecraft, but here we are. Okay. Let's this will look really cool though when it's done. I have at least a small amount of hope. All right, I think I need to go find a bed because it's dark and it's kind of hard to see what's going on here. All right, let's sleep and then we'll come back up here and deal with the rest of this. Am I out of torches? No. Okay. Sweet torches. Woohoo! Okay, we'll sleep. Okay. Oh, where's the bedroom? Okay. Stream joke. A skeleton walked into a bar. He said, "I need a beer and a mop." That seems fair. Okay, how am I doing? You know what? Since we're down here, let's go ahead and see if I can buy some more lapis. You know, I always used to laugh at it. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen the animated movie The Last Unicorn. Ah, yep. Take care, Snoopers. Enjoy. Have an excellent day. Look, little gas toes. Anyway, so The Last Unicorn. It's a bit of a weird, silly movie, and I love it. You have not seen. Okay, cool. It's like I said, a little weird, a little silly. But there is a scene in it where there's a skeleton that ends up drinking wine as part of a doorway to I don't know, to escape this castle and you know all this other stuff. And I used to always think it was so silly because here's this the skeleton, and of course he goes to drink the wine and it just all pours out of his jaw and all over the mantle or shelf or whatever it's on. I laughed. It was funny. Okay. I was easily amused as a kid. Nope. I actually have a really late movie review, I think, of The Last Unicorn. I said it's a fun one. If you like a little bit of just weird fantasy, The Last Unicorn definitely fits that bill. Okay. Here's where we find out that I've done everything correctly, right? I'm going to have a little bit of hope that I've done everything correctly here, and it's all going to just connect up to the other dome. It's going to line up perfectly, and everything is going to be great. Yes. Okay. I should maybe turn on toggle crouch. Okay. Now I may deal with this a little bit where it's coming over the gassed parking, but for now, let's just get the dome in place and we can worry about detailing later. Yep, I used to watch The Last Unicorn a lot. It was the same group, Rankin Bass. They did all those Rudolph and Frosty, right? All those Christmas specials. They also did an animated version of The Hobbit, which is still better than the live action flavor. But they also did The Last Unicorn, and I said it's a little bit trippy, but also kind of cool. So, all right, yeah, let's just because my finger is starting to fall asleep here. Controls. Toggle sneak. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. But yeah, it's cool. And Angela Lansbury voices a witch. I don't think I've seen Angela Lansbury or heard Angela Lansbury do a villain before. And she did a great job with it. I always think of her as, you know, the from Bedknobs and Broomsticks, where, you know, she's the the good witch trying to help England fight Nazis, right? Or Mrs. Potts. And any number of other things I remember seeing her in the 80s. But yeah, she voiced this witch. It's like, okay, that's cool. All right. Getting there eventually. All right. Oh, and I'm out of cool. Yeah, unfortunately, this is gonna take a just ridiculous amount of glass, but so the glass and the lapis is fairly easy to get, so it's just a lot of trading. Okay. Ah, whoa. Toggle crouch. Toggle crouch, toggle crouch. I am using toggle crouch. I can crouch. It's a toggle. Like the lesser known as Poggle. Oh yeah. Gonna toggle crouch. Yes, for those of you deep in Star Wars lore, and remember Poggle the Lesser. Which you probably don't. I mean, he was one of the Geonosians on the who was part of the Separatist Council, but it's not like they ever say his name or anywhere in the movie. It's just in the credits or something. Yeah, which is fairly common with Star Wars, actually. Yep. Yeah, my wife and I had a long conversation last night talking about the differences between Star Wars and Star Trek and what we liked and didn't like between the two of them. And my wife is a Trekker through and through, which is fair. I like Star Trek. Yeah, but Star Wars is. I enjoy Star Wars more than Trek, but Trek is a different thing. You know, Trek is more actual science fiction than Star Wars is a space fantasy. You know, much different type of story. And that was fun. We were talking about that. It's like, you know, this is why we need to do podcasts together. I can't because I don't have the equipment for it, but that would be really fun to sit down with my wife and record the occasional podcast. This turns out it's long. My base is just long. I want to say it's like not quite 100 blocks or something like that. Because I think the beacons that are either end of the base, I think they overlap by 1 block in the center. Okay. So, yeah. It's longish. Honestly, might be the largest base type thing that I've intentionally built, right? I've built other bases that were also big, but I think this is the first one that I just intentionally designed to be larger. Most of my other ones, so I talk about suffering from accidental mega base, is I'll start with something and then I'll build it out in a sort of a modular type way. Well, this is not that. This is actually a base is like, nope, here's the footprints. I'm going to have it this big. We're going to have all of this going on. I didn't have all the details worked out, which is fairly normal. But that's some general ideas of what I was doing. Okay. Soda's gone. I have to switch back to water. Actually, I can't complain. I like water. Especially where I live. We have good water. Where I grew up, outside of Denver, the water was fine, but then they decided to add fluoride to it. And not getting into any of the politics or any of that, the water just tasted like toothpaste. And that was annoying. You know? I remember going to the dentist and, I'm sure you can tell how straight my teeth are. No, we started going to I go to the dentist and get teeth cleaning and get the special like high fluoride toothpaste or something. Yeah, our city water tasted just like that toothpaste. Eventually they toned it down a bit, but it's like, dude, this isn't good. But our water where I live now it's fed directly from the aquifer. They filter it, which they didn't always do. When I first lived here, they didn't do that. But hey, Artemis, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. If you're having a fabulous day over there in Twitchland. Oh, right. Hang on. I must do the crafting. Okay. Oh, yeah, let's get the rest of that dye out of there, too. Ooh, pasta for dinner. Nice. Pasta's tasty. Yeah, we did. Oh, that's not what goes there. Wait a minute. I would like to craft on said crafting table. Oh, that's because I'm crouched. Hey, toggle crouch. It's a thing. I'm using it to save my pinky, but also... Ow. Okay. What did we do for dinner tonight? We did Hawaiian haystacks, which was all sorts of tasty. All right. This is taking forever. It's okay, though. Right? Yeah, totally. All the fours and the evers. Anyways, how are you doing, Artemis? You having a good day? I mean, obviously, you've got pasta, which is great. Hopefully everything else has been going well. Am I remembering right? You were doing Extra Life this last weekend. Hopefully that was good. Your cat wants cuddles. Oh, I miss having a cat and cuddles. I mean, not that my cat was much of a cuddler, but still. I miss it. We're trying to be good. We don't need to get another cat right now. We don't. We don't have time to go through all of the cat, house training and all of that stuff. On the other hand, cats are cute and I want a cat. Extra Life was good. Oh, right. The LDS gamers smashed their goal. That's awesome. Okay. Toggle crouch. There we go. That's cool. Yeah, I remember seeing something about that in the Discord, but there's all that paying attention that I wasn't doing. Go to a shelter, get a... Yeah, that's true. That is true. Of course, I was looking at our local shelter, and I don't actually think they had any cats right now. Oh, it's the joy of living in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, some of those things are not as readily available, like, cats and stuff, but it doesn't help that my youngest keeps sending us pictures of the cute kittens in the shelter that she volunteers at. It's like, okay, I think those actually need to go there, so we'll leave them. Yeah, that's... my daughter's at... My youngest is at college a little, an hour or so, a couple of hours away from here. And she volunteers at the animal shelter, helping to socialize the cats and stuff. And she does it partly as a therapy thing for herself. Gives her a way of helping to de-stress and get, fuzzy cuddle time, or at least fuzzy touch the cat time. Since she's not allowed to have a cat in her apartment on campus. And, it helps the cats and all that good stuff. It's a great thing. Definitely encourage it for her. She started to do that because her next older sister, at the school she goes to in Idaho, requires, I think, that all of the students, I am going to pop this up here, requires that all of the students do volunteer work for a semester or something. And so she did that too. She volunteered at an animal shelter and was all sorts of fun. And it's like, yep. So my youngest decided to do that too, and it's been great. But yeah, then she keeps posting pictures of cute cats. It's like, what? Cat's kitten right now. It's sad. But okay, yes, I think this is correct. So that's gonna go there. Let me just get this round up here, and then this should do it. All right, nice. And then we'll just, now it's just a lot of back and forth here for a while. Honestly, I should go and start bringing up the other side. But it doesn't matter. I don't think there's really any overlap. But lots of back and forth on this stream. I put pictures of my cat. Nah, it's okay. It was funny. One of my kids posted a picture the other day because her cat was had ended up almost ordering her a channel membership on one of Tango Tech's channels. It's like, yep, cat knows what's up. I had to laugh. There was actually this is hilarious, right? So COVID hits, right? So now everybody is working from home. At least those that can. And that included a bunch of NASA engineers who were controlling spacecraft. And suddenly they now had to deal with protocols for what happens if a cat gets on your keyboard and actually accidentally sends a satellite careening off into the middle of nowhere. Okay, I did not expect the NASA cat protocol to come into effect, but here we are. Yeah. Cats are great. I grew up with both dogs and cats. My dad was mostly a dog person, and my mom was mostly a cat person, I think. But you know, except for the dog I had when I was little, who basically adopted me. Yeah, I've pretty much just always been a cat person. No, see, that was fun. When I was little, I was probably 2-ish, something like that. And I'm not even sure I was that old. I'm not even sure I was born, let's be honest. But I probably was. Anyway, Dad was at work, and as I think he was coming home from work or something, and he found that somebody had dumped this dog and her puppy out on this interstate, right? Just off the side of the highway. So because my dad was a compassionate animal lover, he brought them home. And the plan was apparently to keep the puppy and then take the mother eventually to a shelter for adoption. Unfortunately, the puppy died, and I don't know why, what all was going on with that, but the puppy died, and that was all sad. Wow, I am out of glass. This kind of sucks. And so we ended up adopting the mother there. And she adopted me. I apparently ended up taking the place of her puppy. And so I cannot remember a time when I was growing up that I didn't have this dog just always around. Okay. I need to be on the other side. Yep, that's going to be cool when it's done. It's just going to take forever. All right. Yep. Hey, she protected the baby. Exactly. So yeah, she grew up, and as I grew up, this dog, and I swear, this dog was nothing but fur, eyeballs, and tongue. Okay. She was a very, very fluffy, very licky dog. And when I was, 3, I loved it. Right? When I was little, I just thought this was the greatest thing ever. And yeah, she'd come up when I'd go to bed. She'd climb up into bed with me and cuddle up on the blankets. And yep, I was her puppy now for the rest of whatever, and it was cute. And we'd go out and we'd run around outside in the backyard. And she, as much as I liked this dog, she was also a jerk. Okay. Not to me, but to some of our other dogs. Like, you ever have dogs like you give them two ends of a rope and they like to go play tug of war, right? That type of thing. Well, our dogs like to do that. Okay, which was great. Except my dog Taffy was the larger of them, and she would pull and pull and pull until she could get around a corner. And then she would just bonk the other dog's nose into the corner. You know, because that seemed like the thing to do, so. But no, she was great, and we had her until she passed when I was in high school, I think. So, yeah. Yep, exactly. She learned how to get the rope. It's like, nope. This isn't yours anymore. This is mine, and we're going to prove it. But yeah, and I don't remember exactly what all we did. I was like, I don't remember like playing fetch or anything like that. But just, oh yeah, so much glass. This is half the reason I have villagers, is so that I don't have to worry about mining sand so I can get glass. It's like, nope, we're just going to talk to all the villagers here. Actually, I need to go talk to the clerics because I need lapis. I need to finish getting all the terracotta in here too, but selectively lazy. As you know, I'll sit here and grind out this stuff and I'll do a bunch of other stuff, but I'm just putting off getting sand for concrete and doing more terracotta and all that stuff. It's like, yep. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. I need to turn that all into dye. Thank you. We get the blue. There we go. And one of these boxes I put more glass in. Yep. You know, it said sometimes it's putting off boring stuff with more boring stuff, but yeah. But yeah, I forgot who it was. Somebody coined the phrase selectively lazy, and yep. And now I have selectively lazy merch up at musicfreegaming.com. Oh, toggle, because my pinky is going to die. So that's toggle sneak. There we go. Anyway, all the fun. Yep, it's like the number of times like I'm putting off things I need to do by doing other things. It's like, yep, I've been there. I get that. I understand where that comes from. Water elevator. Oh, reminds you of the happy gas on Hermitcraft, like that Impulse has in his hole. Yep. Yeah, but I was thinking about doing a happy gas elevator, and then changed my mind because it ended up just didn't work out with what I was going to do as my build evolved. But yeah, he needs it because I think he's going to. Impulse is taking that hole, I think, all the way to bedrock. So he's going to need an elevator that can go all the way up and down quickly. And I think it's a creative way of using the happy gas. I was going to do something a little bit. I was going to do something a little bit different because you can't, unless you put the happy gas in a minecart, which is what Impulse did. You can't stand on it and have it go places. What I was going to do is have it. I was going to have it carrying a camel, and so you would jump on the camel while the happy gas went up and down. Yeah, 3 days. Well, you know, everyone gives Impulse like, you know, all this try-harding noise, but really, it was 4 hermits that put all of that together, right? Like the trading hall and the iron farm and all of that, right? It was Imp and Skiz and Tango and ZF who said, you know what? Let's do the thing. Yeah. And Tango definitely wanted to get past the early game so he could get started on Decked Out 3. Yeah, exactly. Many hands makes like light work. Exactly. All right, I think what I need to do, I'll finish this row, and then I need to get started on from the bottom because I've got to stack up a bunch of stuff. Just as they get to the sides, it gets steeper, right? But yeah, see, this is. Yeah, see, that's gonna be cool, and I've got to do a little bit of something along the sides here, and obviously there's gonna need some supports or other things going around, but I think this is gonna be really cool when it's done. Excited to see Decked Out 3. Yeah, from those hermits' perspective. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, obviously it's going to be a little bit crazy, but all right, let's get down here. We'll sleep. I like this little room. I think it turned out okay. Yeah, it was. I mean, I got a little tired of it after a while, but I watched a lot of Pearlescent Moon running Decked Out. All right, let's get over here. We'll get. All right, let's. Oh, actually, I've got more glass. We'll trade later. Up. You love watching Pearl? Yeah. Pearl is fun. You know what's interesting? I used to watch a little bit of Empire Season 1. Not that I really, not any of the videos. I was watching Poppy, Pop-Tart Katza, who did a lot of streams from Empires. And I don't remember if I actually ever saw Pearl at the same time, even though they shared a tower, right? They built the PP tower. Heck, I didn't even see Skiz, who was also on that series, apparently. Because the only person I watched Poppy, and I watched Logical Geek Boy. Because he did videos from Empires. But I came in really late to that series. And it was interesting that I remember Empire Season 2 started up. And I think Logic was kind of stepped away from content creation for a while. But there were a couple of other streamers that I was watching at the time. It's like the Frog Queen, Kim and Jax. Might have been some others. Oh, you've seen Pearl's Vampires videos. Yes. Oh, right. Bottom. I was doing stuff from the bottom. Yeah, Pearl is the only POV I'm watching for vampires. I typically watch Zombie Cleo and Rendog just normally, but I watched their first episodes. Minecraft roleplay is not really my cup of tea. But so I kind of just stuck with Pearl and whatever she's got going on with hers, just to sort of keep in touch with the series. Okay. Yeah, even a role play. Yeah, Pearl is just Pearl. Yeah. Well, she said at one point she wasn't planning on role playing much. Heck, she was talking about it on stream the other. No, it wasn't her. It was Zombie Cleo. Cleo was talking about it on stream the other day. The Vampires SMP was not. They weren't expecting it to be a role play server. What they were expecting it to be was something along the lines of, what's it? What's it? One Night Ultimate Werewolf, right? Those Among Us, right? Those type of games. But everybody came in and just said, nope, we're going to role play this. It's like, all right. And so you get Ren with his whatever flavor of accent he is trying to do. But okay. All the progress is happening eventually. Yeah, we'll take a quick break after. Oh, I'm almost out of glass. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was just one of those things. They had not, when they originally rolled it out, said, nope. So the plan isn't to be role play. The plan is to be Among Us in Minecraft, basically. And nope. Everybody just sort of jumped in and said, no, we are absolutely role playing. So, they did. And it's okay. I said, I don't know why I don't know what it is. So I've watched a couple of role play type series. This one, what was it? Maybe it was Empires? Oh no, it wasn't Empires that I was talking with Poppy. That was Legacy. I'm sorry, that was Legacy. That was Pearl and Skizzleman and Poppy and Logical Geek Boy and all that stuff. Empires was one I couldn't get into. You love the idea of an RP series? Yeah. And yeah, they can die out. It's nice, like this one, the vampires, they have an end, right? They know not exactly when it's going to end, but they know there is going to be an end. And I think that was one of the problems they had with some like Empires and other things. The problem with a roleplay server, I think, especially when you've got content creators who are all trying to tell their own story, that you end up with things that end up getting really forced. And it was just... And that can become a problem. It's like, oh, Mythical Sausage is trying to tell his story, and you're trying to tell your story, and they're trying to do this, that, and the other, and doesn't always mesh. But you get something like Vampires, where it's like, yeah, we're all telling the same story. We all have sort of the idea. Right? Hermitcraft works because, yeah, it's still them. Yeah, exactly. And they can sort of dip in and out of the story as they want to. Or, lean into it as much as they want to. It's like with the the permits last season. There are a number of the hermits that's like, okay, we have them, but we're not really going to get overly involved with the permit office, Poe storyline, or any of that. It's like, this is cool. I get to build new farms or do whatever, right? Vintage Beef is doing an 80s theme this season. Fun. Yeah, he's one of the ones I don't watch. Which, I don't know why. Just never got into his stuff. B for XB Crafted. I do watch XB on stream once in a while, but I haven't watched his videos much. Oi. Oh, I can't buy his lapis because I'm out of the money. It's a little rough when you're out of money. You watch Beef because of his interior design. Yeah. Yeah. What I've seen of Beef, I can see that he does good stuff there. Yeah, Korean and Pearl are fun. Yeah, so I watched probably a dozen of the Hermits. Oh, is it that late in the day? Bummer. Okay. You know, I came into Hermitcraft, I think it was middle or end of season 7. Watch B00? Yeah. B-Dubs does good stuff too. I came in, like a lot of people, I discovered Hermitcraft through Mumbo Jumbo. And because I had run into Mumbo for redstone builds and stuff like that. As I was trying to figure out, what is this redstone thing that everyone's talking about? How does this work, right? And then, of course, because I had subbed to Mumbo because of his redstone, I started watching his Hermitcraft videos as well. And I can't remember exactly the order I ended up following people in, but I ended up from Mumbo to, I don't know if it was Scar next, but ended up very quickly. It was Mumbo and then Scar, Impulse, Sneak Toggle. Tango ended up in there somewhere. B00, you know. You discovered Hermitcraft because Paul Suarez Jr. Okay. Oh. Hi. I want to toggle, please. Thank you. Oh, you know what's really cool? Actually crouching. I know, weird, right? But that's a thing I should probably do here with this. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Everyone comes into it their own way, and it's really cool. It wasn't there long? Okay, yeah. Intrigued by the other hermits. Well, honestly, the more I've watched it, honestly, Hermitcraft was a breath of fresh air for me. Because I started watching Minecraft, well, and Let's Plays and stuff in general from Achievement Hunter. And Achievement Hunter was fun, but they were very much not family friendly. The profanity came fast and furious with Achievement Hunter. And I started, and as I was looking for other things, let's say Mumbo with stuff, it ended up being through the Hermits and a couple of creators like Mandolin and stuff on Twitch that I found, hey, actually family-friendly content creators are a thing, and this is awesome. I think I had started streaming at that point in part because I wanted more family-friendly streamers and content creators and stuff. You know, so create the content you want to see, right? That's kind of where I was at. Yeah, I totally all about it. And yeah, there are some that are, yeah, a little bit less so, perhaps. You know, you watch the stream sometimes, the innuendo can come a little bit, but I like that it was yeah, a little borderline. It's like the humor can be adult humor without being profane, which I'm happy about. I have no idea how I'm going to connect that stuff that's down there up to this bubble. That's going to be an interesting problem to solve. But still, for the most part, they try to avoid it. They don't swear. You know, unless, you know, like Skizzleman occasionally lets something slip. Yeah. But for the most part, they're and okay. Okay, I think we're back. Sorry. My connection dropped. It was stupid. Okay. Oh yeah. Well, it's here, let me fly out and I'll show you, so zoom out and show you the build, right? In a lot of ways it's sort of like the dome on top of the tabernacle in Salt Lake City. But right, my base is sort of long and not quite oval, right? Here, let me just turn this on so it's easier to see. So having this oval dome here, I think it's kind of cool. But nope, that was me. I lost connection there for a second. Yeah, that way. Okay, we'll get this. But yeah, it's cool. And you look at it on the map, you know, it's gonna be fun. I like this. So, but yeah, anyway, so it's fun for me as the type of Minecrafter I am. Yes, I build, but I also like to do redstone farms and a bunch of stuff like that. I'm older. And then seeing Impulse and Skiz and Tango, who are about my age, a little bit younger. And heck, Corrales is just a couple years younger than me too. Actually, probably he's like 3 or 4 years younger than me, but it gives me a little bit of hope. It's like, yes, I can be an older content creator, and that is okay. It does look a little bit like a football field. What I'm going to do is the top level of this base is sort of the habitat ring or the habitat section of it. But it's also going to be a garden. So I'm going to build rooms and stuff around the outside. Right, you can see sort of where all that stuff is. I'm going to have rooms and stuff out here, and then on the inside of that section, it's going to be all plants and trees and flowers and greenery and stuff. You found out that you're a month older than Captain Sparkles. Nice. I haven't watched a lot of The Good Captain. I watched a few of his videos because, yeah, the dome is going to be cool. I watched a few of Sparkle's videos when he was running Decked Out 2 at the end of, what was it, season 9? Just because I wanted to see what other people were thinking of Decked Out, because it was just insane. Watch some of his runs and some of H-Bomb do some things and stuff. It was fun. But yeah, the plan here is that this whole top area of the dome is going to be all So it's going to be all plants and flowers and trees and stuff, plus habitats, you know, bedrooms and things. You watch him a lot doing his RP of, okay, of Lanite. Okay, fun. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so I kind of, the way I structured this base is, from a practical standpoint, I've got all of my storage is on the first floor. And I'm bringing farm output and stuff into it. That's part of the reason it's down there. The second floor is all the villagers. And then the third floor is, well, it's happy gas parking, but it's also going to be, inside bedrooms and all of that fun stuff. And I've got a couple of things, like there are some areas like right here, like these elevators. I'm going to bring those up a little bit and cap them off with some form of happy gas. Okay, I need more dye. Right, because the lore for this base, such as it is that all of the, oh, I need to sleep, darn it, is that this is all gas powered. That's why I've got the gas reactor down here. That's why I have gas making a bridge to my original starter base, or my starter, I guess it's my temporary base that was out here. Right, as I wanted, you know, free cam out. Right. So that this whole thing is gas powered. So yeah, that's sort of the idea anyway. How much more am I gonna need? Might have to buy more glass? Yeah, I think so, because it's about 2 stacks per line. It's gonna be close. I should buy some more glass. So yeah, I was happy when I discovered the hermits, and it's like, oh look, more family-friendly creators I could watch if my kids are around. That was great. I love that. So, yep. All right, and they'll reset here in just a couple of minutes. Should be great. Yep, I've watched some. I should. You want a family so you weren't hearing swearing all the time. Exactly. So that was my thing. Like when I was watching Achievement Hunter, I loved a lot of what they were doing as far as, I mean, the videos were fun. Sometimes really hilarious. But also they tended to swear every other sentence, and that got old really fast. Okay. You know, and I didn't grow up in a, you know, it was interesting. My dad was a cop. He was from New York, where he described, I mean, he grew up in Brooklyn, right? And as he described it, you know, the F word is not just an expletive. It is a comma, a noun, a verb. It's that thing you say when you're trying to think of what else you're trying to say, right? But he didn't swear much around me. At least when I was younger. And yeah, even before I ended up joining the church, and where the culture was very much not laden with profanity, I eventually just decided, you know what? I don't like how I sound. And yeah, I get really tired of it some days. most days, you know. Which is why I watch family-friendly creators and stuff. Okay, we're getting there. I think this'll be close. Let's get a second round of these villagers, and then we'll hopefully I'll have enough blue glass to finish this dome. Alright. Alright, crafting table. Let's do all this nonsense. Yeah, it's annoying though. There are a couple of creators, like one of the people I like to watch is sort of he does like content creator news. You know, and news like what's going on Twitch, stuff like that. Zach Bussey. But boy, does Zach have a potty mouth. And boy, I get tired of that in a hurry. I mean, but there's so few places to actually get Twitch news. That's like, man, could we like not make with the swearing? That'd be great, thank you. Anyway. Oh, that's the downside. Alright. Said. Every elevator has an upside and a downside, and that one just ran all over its downside. Alright. Okay. Controls. Toggle. Okay. But yeah, the hermits are fun. There are some. I was watching DocM77 for a while, but this last season he was really playing up the sort of petty vindictiveness and sort of the pride and hubris almost, and that got old really fast. The tech stuff he does is fascinating. I love seeing some of that, but I should dip in and see if that's changed somewhat this season or not. But okay, because again, I like technical Minecraft up to a point, and he does some really fun stuff. I used to like watching Il Mango, but he kind of dropped off the creator space. I don't know if he's still, you know, still playing Minecraft or stuff. I don't know, but he stopped making videos. So of course, guess I can't say anything. I stopped creating videos, so I mean, obviously I'm still streaming, but I stopped doing videos. Just bad. I actually should sit down and work up an updated version of my potion brewer. You know, because I could add a version 1.1 that adds the third modifier slot, which really is only necessary if you're making lingering potions, but also, I have a wild hair, and I don't know why, but I have a wild hair to see if I can get it to work reliably in Bedrock. I mean, I don't play Bedrock. There's no reason for me to do that. But Bedrock has some weird redstone challenges because Bedrock has like a random update order to a lot of its stuff. I think it's because they designed it multi-threaded from the start, and redstone is not consistent. Java, you can pretty well count on how things go. But Bedrock is just, it's got the randomness, and so trying to make anything work right in Bedrock is just asking for trouble. But I want to try. You know, because it would be fun. I mean, my brewer mostly works in Bedrock. It's just, if you're unlucky enough to have, if you're needing to use fermented spider eye, you need to be very careful to ensure that that doesn't end up in it first. Otherwise, you end up with a weakness potion, and it doesn't play well with any of the other ingredients. But if you get other things in there, anything else that goes in there first, then the fermented spider eye shows up and you get invisibility potions or whatever it is you're doing. Well, yeah, it's a nice handy little farm here. Or machine. Okay. All right, so cool. Anyway, I think we're done. At least with the blue part of the dome. Let's hop back up top here. All right, so okay, turn that off. All right. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think I need to take off a little bit up on the top. Because this is looking a little bit steep up here. So let's at the very least, let's flatten this out. Okay, I need to do the same thing on the other side, but don't know. Yeah, because this is looking really steep. So I need to take this in probably a couple more blocks. I mean, I don't want to have to do that whole top section again, but might have to. Okay, let's go ahead and just dig these out a couple blocks this way. All right. Oh, gotta love the glass breaking sound, right? All right. Now, of course, because I was so good at that, I counted out exactly how much I needed, right? I think this needs to come out. One more. All right. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's better. So coming off of this side, we're coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. I can make that work. So basically, I just need to shave 5 blocks off from all up here. So, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, counting is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. And then we just fill in down here. We're gonna fill up are holes here? Okay, so this is going to be good. So we'll get this in. So I think this will fill in all that we need here. So because it was looking a little bit steep. So I think I placed a block in the wrong spot. I did. Okay. And let's, yeah. All right. Yeah, hang on. Let's turn the gamma override on for a moment. Yeah, that's looking significantly better. All right. Nice. Let's pick up that torch. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. So there are a couple things I might be able to do to shape this a little bit more, but I think it's good enough. All right, so let's dip inside. We'll sleep. Oops, that's the up. Down we go. Okay. That's the cleric room. The bedroom's over here. All right. Yeah, I've got a little bit of detail work. Actually, I've got a lot of detail work I have to do around the interior here. Also, I feel like I need to put a little bit of something over here. I don't know what. That space feels a little empty. And I don't know what it's going to be. Should be a little bit of something, but I mean, I could. Actually, that might not be a horrible idea. I could put another bedroom over here. Right, and just... I could actually continue this all the way down this way. Whether or not I keep this door to the clerics or not. And just put a couple of extra rooms or something over here. It's a possibility. Yeah, plus I've got a couple of other details I have in mind. I just haven't totally figured out what I want to do with it yet, but okay. Anyway, let's see how we're doing up here. Okay. So this is good. We're now actually sheltered for most of the interior here. Let's come take a look at our gassed parking. Oh, also, let's pick up this glass. All right. So let's check out the gassed parking. Now, the good news is you can fly through here, right? So if I hop on my happy gassed. Okay, let's... Wow. All right, let's not hop on the happy guest. There we go. Right, so fly out. Cool. All right, and this is all good. Of course, you fly back in. And oops. Trying to line up is a little bit of a challenge. But even if I come through here, I'm still, once I fly all the way in, heck, even if I'm not, here, I'm still underneath that, still underneath that. So if I'm kind of clever, that's interesting. So if I'm clever about it, I could bring this all the way over here, and maybe if I just use slabs or something along the top of this, right, so you don't suffocate in it. And yeah, you pop off the happy gas, and now you're inside the dome. And then you could come over this way and right down the ladder, and right, you're good to go. that that would be interesting. I think that would look cool too. Okay, I'd have to figure out what I want to do, because this is, I actually have no idea. Whoa, okay. Guess we don't go there by way of Ghast. I actually don't know what I want to do for the top of this, right? Now, I have some black terracotta. I think I am going to continue that around this way. This is going to continue up above whatever the ceiling level is here. But having a row of probably slabs coming across the top of this, I think would be really good. I think would be really good. And then we can have, so I can have some of that coming across here. We can just do all sorts of fun stuff in here. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. I don't know what I would make it out of. I might use, actually I might just use deep slate. Since I'm using deep slate for all of the, right, all of these edges and things as I'm coming around here. The other thing I might do is I might bring this deep slate down and slip through all of this. That could be interesting. I want to bring a little bit of detail into this blue. I just don't know what I want to do yet. And one of the problems I have is this is concrete, and so I don't have shapes. All I have is just the regular blocks in this in the concrete. So I'll have to figure out something. And I said I don't know what, but feels like something should come in here. On the other hand, maybe if I just bring this stripe down, right? If I bring this deep slate down right through here, do that same thing. We'll bring the stuff, the resin, right? So we get that little bit of orange there. That might be good, right? Do the same type of thing on this side, maybe? Or not. See, I kind of like that just being solid. It looks like it should go down here because I've got this break, because that's where the rest of the Ghast parking is. Right, there's the second Ghast bay right here. But yeah, it definitely feels like I need a little bit of something in a few places, and I just don't know what it should look like. Yeah. Okay. All right. Also, I think I might have figured out what I wanted to do over here. Maybe. I think what I might do is bring some glass panes and some copper bars. This would be similar. Duck in here. Something that would look kind of like that. But come here. So the bars would be right along this side. I don't know if I would put them behind the blue, right? I could move this blue concrete back and continue it all the way up. Right? There's something to be said for that, perhaps. Said I could do that with some some blue glass or light blue glass, right? As I come through there, that could be fun. Oh, hang on. What's happening here? All right, hang on. YouTube is having some issues. Okay. Let's see. Kick seems okay. Here, I think. Let's just try this. Okay. There we go. We're going to reconnect. And hopefully this... Yeah, there we go. We're back. All right. Yep. Sorry over there on YouTube. That was... Things got a little funky. So, yeah, we're just looking at some of this section here. And I was trying to decide... It's the reason it's still open, because I didn't know quite what I wanted to do. But I didn't know if I wanted to be all the way open. So I've got this sort of bay window action happening here. Or if I wanted to do something else. But I think there could be something to be had here. Let's... I need to drop these emeralds off. Let's do that. Let's sleep and then we'll start playing with that there at the end. All right. It'll be a little bit easier handling that up and down when I'm once I get all of the walls in around some of this. All right. Okay, so let's see. What I need. I need some copper bars. I need some... Actually, let me hop up here for a second. I just want to see if the blue glass works or if I need to get some light blue glass against this. I think... Yeah, I think I'm going to need light blue glass. Okay, I may have some of that. If not, a crafting we will go. All right, so let's see now. I actually do have some, maybe I have some panes. Okay, that'll be great. Let's check our copper. Yep, we've got some bars. Wonderful. It'll take them a little time to oxidize, but that's okay. And, you know, do I have some white panes? I do. We're going to do a little something here. Also, while I'm thinking about it, let's see. I move my lights over here. Okay. I don't have any pearlescent frog lights. All right. Well, I've got some here. I AFK'd my farm to the point where it was overflowing a bit, so I am stocked for frog lights. Excuse me. Let's see. So what I want to do is let's come out here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out this. Okay, we'll put a frog light in there. And then take the light blue glass here. Come on. I can click on stuff. All right, that's going to go there. Let's get some of these copper bars. Okay, I'm going to let those oxidize because I want the blue rather than the green. And I'm going to take some of this white stained glass here. And I want to do the panes there because I want to be able to come in and have a little bit more space here, right? We get this cool little shape. I like that. So let's come up to the next level. In fact, we'll do this from outside. All right, so what I want to do is let's hop down here and take out this concrete here. Some of it's going to go back, but we're going to take that out. Bring in our light blue glass. Okay. We'll put in the bars. Now, actually what I don't know. All right, so that's going to come down that way. Now, do I want to put in... No, I want to get some resin. We'll put resin in there. Just because I think it's going to look cool and it matches what else I'm doing elsewhere in the base. So we'll get some resin bricks to put here. All right, well, let's go get some resin bricks. Okay. Now, I don't know how many I've got made up. I may have to craft up a few more, but... Oh, that's copper. Resin's over here. That's enough. I've started color coding my signs here a little bit, so it's a little easier to see where things are. Okay. Woohoo! Little too high. Still, just a little too high. All right. So yeah, so let me come back through here. Yep, I need to be sure I craft up some more panes. So we'll come back through here with these resin blocks, like so. All right. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Bringing that all the way along the top. All right, nice. Very nice. I like it when things work. All right, so next level. Oops. All right, so we are... Yeah. So we're right here. Crafting table. Again, I needed to make panes because, you know, panes and stuff. Light blue. All right. Oops, not that one. The crafting table, not the axe. All right, so glass goeth here. Nope. Fix that. I used to hate dealing with glass because I didn't realize that silk touch was a thing. Yep. All right. It's interesting the number of just weird things in Minecraft that it doesn't actually tell you a lot. It's just, yeah, it's there. It's a thing. Okay. And said we'll add the frog light because that will light up this section a little bit more. And I think that's going to be cool. You know, I put the white glass there. I wonder, let's maybe take this out for a minute. Let's see what happens if I put the light blue glass there. Is that? Yeah, that does look better. Okay, I'm going to have to get more light blue glass. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, that's fine. I'm just gonna need the glass. So much glass. Oh, the glass. Anyway, so let's see. I do have some more blue dye, which is good. Do I have... I actually have a little bit of light blue dye, which is... Oh, no, I've got plenty of glass. We're fine. We're fine. Let me go trade out that white for some more light blue. Didn't realize I had another stack there. Yeah, I like the shape, so I'm going to stick to the panes, but because this does make it, this makes it a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to see, kind of. And yeah, it's a little bit nicer to actually come out here and look around and all of that fun stuff. Nice. All right. All right, so next. All right, this is going to come out. Okay, as will most of this concrete. Oh yeah, this is going to be cool. I've been thinking about this a fair amount over the last few weeks, just trying to think about what would be good here, you know? And not having a lot of success. So I'm happy that I found a little bit of something here. All right. Well, that's a little far down. Okay. There's probably a more efficient way for this. Oh, the cat wanted cuddles. Well, that's a perfectly valid reason to step away. Kitty cuddles is the best excuse for doing anything. All right, so that goes there. This actually needs to come out this way. Go ahead and make that solid. Right. Okay, so this is going to slide in here like so. All right, bring this down like that. And where my copper bars. Back. Come on. You can do it. All right. That can go away. All right, so now, yeah, so that's cool. And adding those extra frog lights are definitely giving it a little bit of a brighter feel, and I like that. Okay, let's sleep, and then we'll take a look at how things are doing in the day. Oh, this is just cool. Yeah, this dome was definitely the way to go. Yeah, the frog lights do add a little bit of detail as well. That's right, Artemis. Just a little bit of extra bit there on the floor, which is nice. I like the pearlescent frog lights here because they blend in really well with the pale oak. Even though the pale oak is a little bit pink and the frog lights are purple, they kind of blend in enough. And I'm going to shift this. I'm going to run the pale oak down the sides here and all that good stuff. So, and this elevator needs to go all the way up. Now, what I don't know if I want, let's head back up there, which unfortunately I'm a long way from all of the elevators. I mean, I suppose this would be reasonable. Oh, if I still had some in my inventory. Yeah, because I do need to bring the that blue all the way up. But anyway, that's a problem for future me. We'll deal with that then. Let's hop back up here. Yeah, I mean, you do get a little bit of some of the lines actually. Yeah, oh, I need to, that top section just looks bad. All right, hang on, this is gonna have to come out. Yeah, this, all right, let me get some more blue glass here, because this doesn't look good. All right, because we're coming out, this is, what is this, 1, 2, 3 blocks? All right, this was not my plan. Oh, I'm glad I have haste, because this is so much faster. I really do think I'm going to have to just lower this whole section down a bit. Which is fine. Which is absolutely fine. But where it is here is just not right. Okay. Yeah, the schematic for the sphere put it, actually I think put the top of the circle at this level that I'm standing on, so. All right, so let's just pop all this glass. We'll get the rest in. This is going to be painful. Glass really needs a tool to break it, you know? I don't know what it would be, but it definitely needs something. It's like, I can insta-mine stone with this axe. I can't break glass. This pickaxe, you know? Though, I believe Mojang added a bunch of data stuff that allows you to, via data packs, set which tools are available for certain blocks and things like that. It's probably possible. Maybe not in this version, but maybe it will be in Mounts of Mayhem. It may be possible through data packs to say, hey, glass breaks, like the tool to break glass is a pickaxe. Right? That might be a thing. I don't know. I've never done data pack development, so I could be wrong. I just remember vaguely seeing that as one of the changes in one of the snapshot change logs sometime in the last 6 months. Okay. Okay. Oh, gotta change positions here a little bit. All right. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3. Let me take these two sides off, right? Or these two rows, and then we'll see. Actually, before I do that, let's drop down and pick up all that glass that's down here. That glass was a pain to get. I don't want to lose it. Okay. Also, Riley was so good to remind us. Hey, do you need safe, secure internet access that you can tell your ISP is not spying on you with? Yeah. Proton VPN. Awesome. Link just got posted in the chat. Check that action out. All right. All right, so let's so we'll break this. I might not need to take out all of the glass that's on this layer. We'll see what it looks like when I get when I flatten this whole side here, but it'll be close. Ooh, it's getting late too. That's okay. We'll get this little bit of glass done. I'll get the all the bars and stuff at the ends, this end that I'm approaching. So we'll get all of that in place. That'll look good, I think. Breaking glass is one of the worst sounds in the game, I'll tell you. If you're breaking one piece, it's not that big a deal. But when you're breaking like this, you're breaking, you know, hundreds. Boy, that gets old in a hurry. Okay. Hey, if those of you on Twitch who are dealing with ads, count yourself lucky at this point. Okay. You know, I think it's going to just be faster to do it this way. If I didn't have Swift Sneak, it might not be, but this way is probably good. All right. Okay, so we'll get all of this in. Drop down. We'll pick up that glass I broke, but yeah, I want to see if this actually fixes the shape of the dome, because it said it was feeling a little bit. It was looking a little bit wrong, so we shall see. But yeah, one of the things I'm going to need to get in here, and I don't have them now, obviously, and I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put them, but I do want to have a couple of support type arches going around. Said what that looks like, I'm not sure, but something. FTK back. Your cat had exited out of Chrome. Cats are weird, man. Okay, is that better? I don't know. I'm not totally happy with that top row, but actually it's not too bad. I could live with that. Maybe one of these things is not like the other. Okay. It's relaxing on the laptop keyboard. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So let's do that. Let's whip down to the other end. Okay. And I think, yeah. Cut that back. All right. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, that's looking better. Yeah, honestly, this whole thing is looking not shabby, actually. Here, well, if I drop into shaders eventually, there we go. Yeah, I mean that's all right. I can live with that. All right, let's get down here. We'll get the highlights on this little sticky outy bit, because obviously that is the technical term. Okay, goes that way. Gotta decorate your sticky outy bits. Okay. I'll just bring all of this down this way. Yep, that was one thing. My cat, he hated being over here by my computer. I don't know why or what, but that was just not high in his list of things to do most days. It's gonna go there. This gets cleaned out here. All right. Be nice having this concrete back. Don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it will be nice to have it back. Oh, I am just about out of light blue glass. Awesome. All right. Well, that's not ideal. All right. Well, let's put this resin in, and I'm going to have to go craft up some more glass. Again, I've got plenty of glass. I just need the dye. So. Which, again, I also have, but I just have to, you know, do that whole crafting thing that is so much a part of the game. Storage room's on this side. Yep. Okay, dyes. Cyan. Okay, so light blue, glass. Grab some of this. Done with the regular blue stained glass. All right. Light blue, please. Thank you. And some light blue panes. Okay. Nice. All right. I think I was on level 2 when I left off, so we'll go hop up there and take care of that. Yeah, fortunately, I don't think I need a villager trip at this point. I think I have enough. I had enough stuff just floating around that I can take care of this now without it. Okay. All right, we get act. No, you don't go there. Okay. Yep, storage trips are good. It's nice when you actually have stuff in storage. Pop that up. This will look even better once the once that copper oxidizes, but for now we'll just have to deal with it. Okay. Okay, it's definitely getting on towards quitting time for me. My voice is starting to give out. I have no idea how people can stream for like 6 hours, man. That's just... Yeah, I go for 3 and my voice is like, you know what? We're done with you. Okay. But I do want to get this last little bit done, so... Ack! Okay. The last time I drank water was probably 10 or 15 minutes ago. Maybe. Alright. Actually, what works really well for me is soda. I like to drink water, but the carbonation of the soda goes a long way towards soothing my throat and keeping everything all happy and stuff there. But I'm out of soda. So, yeah, something that coats the throat. Exactly. And that's said one of the reasons I like soda for that is it's... I think it was George Carlin who talked about if he was having... He needed something to deal with a sore throat. He liked room temperature flat Diet Coke, which is partly like dying inside, That said, I am drinking zero sugar root beer, so you know. Okay. Yeah. See, once this turns green, that's going to be even better. But yeah, I think that adds a little bit of nice detail around the outside, and it helps bring in like you can see here. I've got the fully oxidized copper over um, the resin. I don't know why resin is such a hard word for me to remember, but it is because resin is just ridiculous. But yeah, you get this cool little design with the green of the oxidized copper in front of the orange of the resin. It just looks cool. And so as we come around here on the outside of this, we'll get that same sort of color. We'll get the orange, right? Because we've got the resin providing highlights around the outside of the base. But having the oxidized copper in front of it's going to be, that's going to be nice, I think. Now, one thing I could do here, I mean, I'd like to be able to come stand here. I could put more copper bars behind it so you can still see, right? Oh, and I'm out, apparently. All right, we'll just put these down here so we can see the effect. But oxidize these ones so you still get the green in front of the orange, and you can still sort of see through the outside. But I don't think I like that. I think we're pretty okay with this. And yeah, I like this cutout, so. All right. That'll be good. That'll be totally fine. Though maybe what might work if this changes would be to come back behind this with orange glass. Take some orange glass panes. Yeah, it means I can't walk all the way out here, but I could walk out to... Jeez, my scroll wheel sucks. I could walk out to here. And that wouldn't be bad. Something to think about. Said I'm not totally sold on the idea yet, but I think it could work. I'll have to wait till this oxidizes and then play with it. But that's going to take roughly 1,000 years, so. So yeah, we'll let that happen. All right. But yeah, I think this is going to work. Yeah, and definitely bringing up some supports. I might bring that up from where these elevators are. Maybe something along those lines. Again, just need a little something that's holding up the dome, but yeah, this is cool. I might take this glass down too. I don't know that I want that to go all the way up, but okay. Yeah. So there's a lot of work to do up here, but there's a lot of space, and it'll be nice to build out some rooms and stuff that I think I'm going to want them facing in to the fields here. And honestly, this is going to be really nice because I'll have the red walls, and that's going to contrast beautifully with all of the green that's up here. The only problem is that leaves are going to be an issue because they're all going to look brown and gross because I'm in a mesa. So I'll have to play with that. I think azalea leaves stay green, and obviously the cherry leaves stay pink. So we'll get to play with some of that, but We'll figure something out. It'll be a thing. It'll totally be a thing. But that is going to be a problem for future me. Now it is time to call it a night because it has been late and crazy and all of that good stuff. I want to thank all of you for hanging out with me today. It's been fun getting all of this in place. I want to give a special shout out to my supporters over there at musicfreegaming.com. If you want to help support the channel, that is the second best way to do it. The best way to do it is to watch and bring friends and have them watch. But if you want to help support the channel otherwise, musicfreegaming.com. I also have some cool merch and stuff over there, so check that action out. And my next stream, you can see the schedule there. It's going to be Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And until then, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.